doing some replay reviews. Thanks, Sledge, for being here and doing this again with me.
No problem. Glad to be here.
So I've got the flares, which is Jano, Nacho, and Queso. Fun O names. Clemens was out for this. We literally just did this, and I screwed up everything, and my computer kept crashing. So we're doing a second go at it. I really like the long clear after the kickoff there. I think it sets up the offense really well, especially with them going double boost. Gets you guys moving into good rotation early on. A little bit of dangerous third man play coming in like that with low gravitas where he was. But you guys seem to clean it up pretty well and get back into a good defensive rotation. One of the reasons I picked the two matches that I did was because we've got a little bit more physical play in here. Not only did you guys get some bump and demo attempts, but also Cousin Nikki and Low Gravitas were going for quite a few bumps and demos as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really nice touch. A little bit of a dangerous clear, Queso, straight up the middle like that. It's a really tough save that Nacho had to make, and unfortunately they just punish you guys on that. It ends up being an own goal, but the clear started it, and then Nacho over the shoulder. I mean, it's really tough. Able to get it off to the side, but they just ended up punishing. Good clear out. This is what I like to see, and I'm going to comment on this a lot later on in this match and in the other match. But when we break out into offense and we have one person go, having another move up, which was Nacho in this case, really will help out so that that one man, as he starts to get low on boost or runs out of his momentum, the two man can take over, or he can do a dump pass center, and then the two man can take a shot. In this case, Nacho takes over, and Jano can push up into offense as he sees fit. It was a pretty good shot attempt. It was a good placement, just was kind of weak as a result. Ball side rotation back, but gets out of the way, and Nacho was able to rotate in pretty well there.
So I just want to talk about Queso's play here at 312, just for the next few seconds. So he was in pretty good position here. I think he kind of forced a challenge when really the blue would have just cleared it back to their third man back, which would have been maybe better than this. But to talk about the good afterwards, he was able to switch into car cam and create some havoc here in front of the net. So it was kind of a safe play to go for, as he still had a man back. He had boost. He did his bump, and then he got out of there. So he didn't hang around. He got a bump, got out. It didn't turn into anything, but it had potential, and I think that was a good heads-up play to recognize that he was in a good position, as you can see where the ball was coming there.
And he had his teammates in good spots to support him as well.
Yeah, if Jano was a little faster back into that center position, that shot might have had a chance to beat the goalie before he got back in position. So
good turn on the wall by Jano, keeping that pressure up. Maybe capitalizing on that a little bit sooner, since it is 3v3. You can send that second guy in a little bit more viciously, a little bit more aggressively to try and keep that the ball in their zone. For this one, as this bouncing off the wall, what I'd like to call out is that we basically have two people supporting Jano here. Nobody's really holding this center space. Naturally, I think that Nacho could fill in this space pretty well, and as Jano goes for a double, maybe it'll come across center. But as the play actually develops and Jano misses this ball, I think Queso is actually a pretty good contender for this. And moving into the space a little bit quicker, maybe even calling Jano off of it so he doesn't go for the double and the ball just comes back out. But what he's trying to do is he's trying to read that play. But he doesn't really have anybody center to stay in this aggressive front, and we kind of are playing pretty set 2 men back. A lot of offensive opportunities that we had, I noticed, were one person up on offense and 2 people back on defense, just kind of waiting for the play. So if Queso would have recognized that Jano didn't have that ball and would have just been aggressive and gotten in their faces, that would have been pretty good. Really good pinch there. Later in the series, you do a little bit less good about your right wall in particular. Sidewall clears. We'll get to those, I guess, in a little bit. Good rotation back by Jano. Maybe coming into the corner a little bit quickly, but he does cut off KD really well. And Nacho does cut rotation there, but because he's up on an offense, it works out really well to keep that offensive pressure up and keep you guys in their zone. So there, Nacho, maybe a dribble in center would have been really good, or dribble to the corner and center it for your team. I did really like the ceiling pass down, and the way you guys are keeping offensive pressure is really good. Great demo by Nikki to keep their team on the offensive half.
Oh, they're killing him. Okay, so coming up here, Queso in that corner, stealing that boost, really good move. But anytime you stop and pivot in the offensive zone, especially when the play is just coming into there, you got to expect that they're going to be coming through this area. So he made himself a really easy demo target. So he did pick up that boost. It's not appearing right now, and then he just stopped and sacrificed himself. So if I was him in that spot after I pick up that boost, just because of how the play is developing, he has time to continue on, maybe cross the net area. He doesn't have to go all the way to the other side before he rotates out, but there's definitely somebody he could have gone and maybe caused some problems with. I wouldn't go deep into the net because then you're going to end up recovery's a little harder, right? But cross through, and if you have to come out center, you don't have to go all the way across. That's fine, right? Just look for an opportunity. You don't stop, I guess, is the biggest thing there. You don't have to get a demo, but don't stop because that's why you died.
Yeah, I would say when you're in this offensive zone, keeping momentum and not stopping is going to be huge anyway. After you got the boost, just rotating through instead of e-brake turning, that's what slowed you down. And then Cousin Nicky was able to come through and get that demo.
You could decide what you're going to do after, as you're turning out. You don't have to go for the bump. It depends on what was happening.
It's a good call. And here again, we've got one man on the side wall that's looking for maybe a pass inside or what maybe Jano has, and Queso was moving up into this space, but you got upfield a little bit too quickly, I think, instead of holding a little bit more in midfield and being supportive for Jano or moving center yourself so that Jano would have an option. You kind of moved into no man's land, and now this is a very awkward play, in my opinion, coming from Nacho. I think you got involved a little bit too soon, and then ended up driving up backwards up the wall. So that's just
there was a brief opportunity there when all 3 of blue were in the same corner, and if you're in the right position, you could capitalize on that a lot.
So just be careful watching the ball as you rotate back into net, Jano. Could have rotated back post maybe a little bit quicker using some front flips. But this is a great clear, though. Recognizing that the play in the corner wasn't threatening, waiting front post, coming across, trying to get a demo on Gravitas, and just really good job.
At 39 there, Nacho died to another driving slowly in the offensive zone and being predictable.
So Nacho, I think. No, Nacho, yeah. Not Queso. Sorry.
Yeah, so.
And they were punishing that pretty hard. Yeah,
so you can try and serpentine a little bit, but that's a tough one to also you're worried about the ball more than anything, so kind of understandable too. All right, 26 here. There was a potential for maybe a better play if you're looking for more demo opportunities, and we want our demo opportunities to be as risk-free as they can be. It's never going to be 100%, but right here, really good boost steal by Jano. And as he's making that boost steal, from his perspective, you see he's got ball cam on, and he was able to see that Nacho was going to have the ball. Queso is also in a good position even if Nacho misses it. So this is kind of your risk-free chance to maybe clear the net. So with possession, you'll have an opportunity. So instead of turning straight back, if he had tried to get low gravitas there, he definitely, even if he just made him jump, if we expand and see what happened next in the play and think about what that play would have looked like if low gravitas wasn't there, it would have been a very nice dribble or shot opportunity for who was it?
It's Queso.
Queso, yeah, right there. So if that guy wasn't there, look at that. That's a really good opening you would have made.
Yeah, Queso with a one-on-one with KD.
Yeah, so there was a potential there, especially because you were checking back. You knew that you had possession, you had numbers. It was like a really safe opportunity. I wouldn't have gone try and got two. I wouldn't have worried about the other goaltender, but at least taking one of them out on your way through could have benefited you there.
Good patience, waiting to see if they're going to make a play. And then here, it's a pretty good clear here by Nacho. Under some circumstances, I would have people push up with you to help you out with this play, but with basically no time left on the clock, having two people sit home probably is a pretty safe bet. Make sure that we get into overtime and set ourselves up for a nice victory. Again, they're going double boost. I don't know if we can learn some stall kickoffs or anything like that and send somebody to cheat, but you guys will start punishing them if you can start to recognize that they're going double boost very often, especially since you're going to play them 4 games in a row. Really good clear by Queso. Maybe a little bit of a risky play here by Jano. Know that maybe Nacho can run him into the corner or call Nacho off as early as possible because you guys both ended up occupying the same space and Nicky got the touch without you even jumping for it. So that was a little bit risky, especially with you being the third man back. Worked out okay though. Really good two-man clear here by Queso. Saw Jano was going to have a tough time clearing that one out and pushed up with him. And then I really like Nacho's positioning here. So Jano was coming this way, forcing the play this way, and Nacho, who's coming up the middle, decided that he was going to rotate around more like this, which puts him in line with the back post. And what I really like about that is that as the ball's coming across, it's really hard to read as you're staying with it. But if you sit back post as the ball comes across, you can make your decision. And so as low gravitas is going up for this, it goes over his head, and Nacho just picks his moment and goes for it. It was a really good capitalization on that one. All right, no crashes yet, so we're looking okay. Moving into the second game that had a bunch of physical play in it as well. Another overtime game, and yeah, you guys had some really good opportunities as well in this one. So here we've got a double boost kickoff, and then Queso was able to get the win on the cheat, but unfortunately got bumped in the process and wasn't able to keep that pressure up. This is a good rip by Nacho. Unfortunately, Queso not able to get a touch on that one to put it back on target. That's a tough read. I don't know if maybe it's just safer to not use your boost there, wait for it to bounce and just reposition in order to get the shot. Taking a shot from that angle is a pretty low percentage. And that's just a good clean kill. Careful about cutting rotation though, potentially. Jano was very patient though. So this is a little bit awkward. We lost track of low gravitas as he's rotating back into the play. One of the problems that we have is that all of us are in a line. So if we can keep a little bit more triangle shape, we're going to do a little bit better here. And then Queso, it might just be better to be rotating back posts. I do understand, though, wanting to make sure that this ball stays in the corner and buy time so that Nacho and Jano can do this rotation. But by losing track of Gravitas, he was able to get a really good bump on you.
Yeah, that was sneaky.
And unfortunately, we don't get a good enough clear for a good recovery. So we didn't really end up getting back out of that situation after that bump. And then here again, as we're coming into the offensive pressure out of the kickoff, we're sending all three of our guys in the same line. I think Queso's mostly going here for the boost, but if he can get out of that very quickly, or if Jano, you can recognize that Queso's going to be the third man support, Nacho be the one man on the ball, then you need to be two man and provide Nacho with some options so he can bounce it off the wall and be center for you. But locking each other up here is going to be a little bit dangerous. And then what comes from this is, then this is what I was pointing out earlier, is Queso doing these weird turns on the wall and just trying to keep the ball away from them. This time, Jano kind of bails him out pretty early. But it happens again later, and it's a little bit just awkward. But you guys can maybe work on that and try and find each other a little bit better, or call each other out, so that they don't have to be stuck, or Queso doesn't have to be stuck in that situation as long as he wills.
Okay. So at 3:36 here, I really like this play by Nacho. He's really late getting back into rotation, but he picks the man that's dangerous. It's on his way to the net. And so that was a really good defensive demo. Excellent play by him.
Yeah, and it opens up a lot of space because as this ball clears out too, he's able to move onto it,
Yeah.
and Nicky's respawning, and he's just got a lot of room where he can move up and into the play. That's
Yeah.
a great demo. Taking out the shooter, taking out that really aggressive person is going to be great.
Okay, so coming up here, there's going to be a demo attempt by Jano. I just wanted to kind of talk about what happens here. So there's good, and then there's some maybe suggestions I could have to make this play work out better for you. So the first of all, the good part of the play is very quick transition here. So you transferred from ball cam into car cam, recognizing that this was your chance to go for the demo. So unlike that other time where you rotated out, you're recognizing that. Really fast transition. You were right back into ball cam after the demo attempt, so you're aware where the ball was, and you recovered even though you hit the post. You kept your momentum, used your dodge, and got out of there. So that made it a really good, clean attempt. Even though you didn't get the demo, it didn't wreck what you were doing. If we watch from the goaltender's perspective here, you were easy to predict. Okay, so the thing to remember is anytime you're coming from the direction of the ball, especially when we get up to this rank, they're most likely going to jump. Okay, now sometimes they will get ball focused and they won't jump, but if you're going to play the odds here, the ball's behind you, he sees you, he's going to jump. So this easy to predict demo attempt can be flipped around and become an easy to predict jump, and you will get this guy like 80% of the time.
And then a little gravitas, if you happen to watch this, or if you guys are ever in this spot, watching Sledge's tutorial on what to do in this situation is do the air roll dodge, or what was it called?
Sledge lateral, man.
Sledge lateral. It'll save your bacon.
Oh yeah, it works really good. It's hard to predict, and you'll maintain your position usually.
But yeah, if they're able to read you, it's also really good if that ball's high to, again, not swing into their net, not do a squishy maneuver to get out of the net either, because you might screw it up. You might end up in the goalpost, and then you're just screwing your team over.
Yeah. So the attempt wasn't bad. Good idea. It could be better.
And that's just a really good pass by Case, so unfortunately we're not able to capitalize quite on that, soon enough on that. And I think that was, again, just a communication breakdown. Nacho and Jano both had opportunities to go for it, and both of you kind of stayed back, just waiting to see what happened on the play instead of just throwing yourselves forward at the net. Throw just one person even. Again, good pressure coming through.
Yeah.
Taking some quick fire shots. Pretty much a low percentage aerial there, Nacho, but I can see the reason to get the pressure on there. And then just Nacho deciding, Jano, I don't think he rotated right. I think he needed another chance at this boost, so
Yeah,
just
that
make
was
sure he
nice
gets
of him.
back on defense. It's a good play. I do want to call out this though. After you wreck Jano's world and he's back in this corner, Queso moves the ball up, and we have so much open space here. And as they're gonna break out, they're gonna want to utilize this space. And you were in this area after you'd bumped Jano. You had an opportunity to maybe grab this mid boost and then come back to center, or even grab up a bunch of these pads. But instead, for some reason, you occupy the same space that Jano comes back alive and
Can we go to
pushes
Nacho's
through.
view? Can we see if it was like a camera thing that he just didn't see it, or
Sure.
because this might just be an awareness thing that because it's happened a few times where you guys are going into the same area. So,
So it's just a ball side rotation back, and then
oh yeah, see right. No, he should be able to see.
he sees him right here.
Yeah, okay.
It's still just kind of floating into the same space. So
Right.
we don't want to be occupying the same lanes. If we can spread out the field a little bit better, we'll be able to collapse in on the ball and make sure that we stay aggressive on the offensive rotation.
You don't need to hold hands on the field.
Really good back wall play there. I was a little bit worried about you getting sucked into the corner with Jano. Maybe playing that front post a little bit longer would have been a little bit better play. And then I like the aggressive cuts into the offensive zone.
So close, so close.
Really good attempts, taking some shots at the net. I like this challenge here as well. Swooping in, grabbing the boost, and getting the ball back out of your zone as quickly as it came in gets you guys back up on the offensive. It was a really good transition from defense to offense. Got to give credit to Nacho where Nacho deserves it. And then risky third man play, but able to keep it in the zone and let his teammates get back, buying time. So that was really good too. Good clear out, and then I really got to give credit to Nacho again here. He was rotated upfield and he grabbed this mid boost, and just Jano spots him. I don't know what it is, but able to hit this ball deep, beats out all three defenders who are pretty far up in the rotation, and Nacho just recognizing that he's still in the play and can move upfield and be aggressive. It puts a shot on target. Doesn't quite work, but then low gravitas coming across helps him out a little bit. So just be threatening like that. It works out really well. I really like the positioning right here. This is right after the kickoff. We've got basically our one man in the corner deep, and then we've got a two man ready to support him center, and a three man that's, or rather, ready for the pass center, and a three man supporting him on the side that it's most likely going to get cleared. As this doesn't work out, Jano can rotate out, and we still basically have a two man offense with a support from our third man who's going to be collecting up boost and getting back into position. So we're in a really good position right here, and I really like that. Jano maybe just rotate back though. Let your teammates move into position. And again, dangerous ball side rotation back, but we get out of it with an interesting pinch from Nacho. Great pressure by them. I really like Nacho's clear here. It's awkward being sitting in net watching this come at your backboard over and over again. And so somebody coming across the net keeps their momentum, is able to clear this one out. Also posting somebody up on the backboard is going to be really beneficial here too. I did like Queso aerialing at the ball to try and maybe bounce it off the backboard himself on his own shot, intentionally shot wide. It didn't quite work out, and I felt like you guys had pretty good handle on this situation, especially with Nacho coming across like that. So again, Nacho kind of up on offense, was able to clear out of the zone, but we didn't get into that offensive rotation quite as fast, letting him be basically the one man up, but we had two people supporting him instead. On this touch here, Queso, I think that you could have waited on that one a little bit longer and let that one roll around the wall, come out to you. That would stretch out their defense a little bit better too, instead of trying to tackle it mid-air into the corner. Really good attempt at a shot there. And really good pressure here from Jano, just collapsing in, reading where their defense is going to be. It's sometimes risky being the third man, jumping in on a challenge like that, but he anticipated where the play was and just beat the defenders there. Really tough over-the-shoulder save. Again, tossing that one off into the corner. Really good job. And got to give some credit to Low Gravitas here. Takes a flying leap at the ball, ends up in net, takes a swing at Queso, takes a swing at Nacho as he's rotating out. Just does a really good job of getting some bumps in there. Could be dangerous. Nacho's not quite paying attention to it. He's ready to make this clear here, and now he's suddenly not there anymore. Luckily, Queso's there.
I was good making use of a fail when you're in the back of the net. You can still turn it into something.
And then that clear from Queso to Jano, really good attempt. You guys were so close to being able to capitalize and score on that with just a few seconds dwindling on the clock.
These guys win almost every kickoff.
Yeah, they lose it and purposely do a corner, and then they gain possession out of it. Yep.
Yeah, pretty good at that.
Looking pretty good. Another good demo. Coming back into rotation as a third man, making sure that they can't stay up on offense too much longer after this onslaught. Good control. I like that Jano's kind of holding a nice pass center. Nacho's holding center of the field to be supportive for him. Here we're all just rotating ball side though. Jano comes across on this pass. Instead of coming back straight center and grabbing up all these small pads, it's like, oh hey, a big boost. Well, the ball's also coming this way, and Queso's lined up for it, and so he's there, and so everybody just jumps in at where this ball is, and so now we're running to another situation where Queso's in a weird spot trying to make some plays on the sidewall. This time he doesn't get bailed out by a teammate. Luckily, Nacho was there to kind of clean up some of that effort in the corner. Nacho doing a failed half flip attempt, maybe there?
Looks like me trying a half flip.
I feel like I've heard that joke. Really good play by them, honestly, here. I do want to call this out. This is another one that I thought was a little bit awkward. You moved up very quickly, holding the center line, wanted to be there for Jano's pass, and then when the play doesn't work out, we just beep, beep, beep. Just kind of an interesting situation. I'm not sure what the plan was there. Overall, I'd say you guys had a really good series, though. Had plenty of offensive opportunities. There was a couple places where I saw it earlier, and I didn't really comment on it, but we've got people center field on the offensive rotation and a person that's kind of on the sidewall ready to make a play to support it, and this person in the center beelines it for the ball on the sidewall, and then you're going to get into double commits and things like that. Try and hold that center space as long as you can. I know even though the first guy might have made a play that didn't work out, the three-man can still potentially give you a nice little infield pass, or might make the pass himself, and as the one-man rotates out, he'll become that three-man. So you might just be able to hold that space just a little bit longer, and by holding that space, if something breaks down when the enemy tries to attack, you'll be there, and maybe you need to buy time for your team so you can dish it off to a corner, but either way, you're going to block the whole center lane. So I didn't really comment on that, so I did want to call that out. That was something else that I saw throughout this. I want to thank everybody for watching this replay, and Sledge, thank you so much for doing this for the second time.
No problem.
I really appreciate it, and have a good one.